So, a couple days ago, I was just wondering just how many bases and research stations we got going on Antarctica. And I didn't dive into it too hard. But, you come across Wikipedia, and it says as of October 2006. So I guess my point being is that this is pretty inaccurate. But as I was on this page reading this, at the bottom here, they have a list. I think there's like 47 of them or something like that right here. So I began to plot out all of these courses out on my Google Earth map. And going through it, and then I stumble upon this page. And at the bottom of this page, it shows you expeditions and whatnot, but it also has a list for stations. I think I counted 99. Okay. I did like 47. So I was like, okay. So who knows how many there are? I just know once I started plotting these out, I'm not even going to see the continent because this is only like half of them. So I kind of stopped. So if I go back to this page here, I'll show you a little time lapse of, I think it goes up to 2012. So I'll just give you a minute and watch this. 2012 it says, and that's what they're fessing up to. Who knows how many there actually are, because I don't know. I didn't dive into it that hard. I just know I couldn't put any more on my map because I'm gonna miss the continent. So with that being said, I guess my point being is, check out some of these bases. A lot of them you can't see. They're just not even there. You can try the timeline feature and some things start popping up on occasion, but I guess I'll show you something new as opposed to just a history lesson. And here's McMurdo over here. And we're going to be going to this area right here. I think it's like 75 miles, something like that. But I lost this site. Google Earth froze up on me, and all my markings were gone, and I lost my place, and it probably took me 2 hours to find this. And my eyeballs do not thank me for it at all. But I'm just going to start. Brought me in was this funky looking structure, but you dive in here, here's a craft, okay? Here's another craft. It looks like this is the darker one, and this could be one over here too, but something strange down here. But on this platform, it looks like there's something big up in here, and I don't know, this might be a maintenance area or something, I just don't know. But, this is a entrance to inner Earth, they don't fly this stuff into the mountains and set it there. They're coming from the inside out, you know what I'm saying? So, while I'm passing by, this kind of looks like, to me, a being, and I could be wrong, but it looks like, I don't know, a shovel, or he's putting something in the dirt or something, I don't know, just as a passerby. But here's a disc. You can see where they brushed it out to blend it in. Here's another disc. I'm imagining this is probably a disc, but it kind of what I'm looking. It's like they got a little small fleet ready to go or something over here. Okay. And I'm gonna pop out a little bit. And I guess you can see why it took me 2 hours to find this, because you got to zoom in properly. I'm gonna tilt this a little bit just so you can see a little bit better. But before I zoom in, what you have right here is an inner Earth being, okay? And as we zoom in, I'll break out the ruler on you. And we're just going to do a quick measurement, eyeball type of a thing. I'm going to say this guy's like 150 feet, okay? You got a 150-foot being here. What's interesting with this, and I'm going to show you actually another one, but it's really pixelated. It's hard to make out. But, I've shown you these things before. But this is the guy's arm, okay? Well, as soon as I zoom in, you'll be able to see better. But what there is a being. He's got his hand cupped, on, with their feet, and he's actually carrying two beings with his left arm. This one's cradled in his arm, and this other guy, here's his head, where that is. Here's his shoulders, okay? Here's his waist, here's a leg, and here's another being right here. It looks like a female, but I'm sure I'm wrong. But, this guy's got sunglasses on, a little bit of a shortcut, but it looks like there's something around his face, I don't know. But, this guy here is facing his chest, so he's like holding on or something, and this person here just kind of riding it out. Now, you can see a skirt. This is a female. Who knows? Is he taking him home, taking him out for a joyride? I don't know, but, you see it fairly regularly. It's kind of crazy. I would imagine if it wasn't so pixelated, the reason why, they just kind of missed this guy. But, he's so large, it's hard to pixelate him unless you brush him out, and they just missed it, I guess. But I think there's probably a few beings. It looks like they're maybe sitting down, and I'm sure I'm probably wrong. It's hard to say, and I swear some of these pictures change a lot of times. But we're going to go over here real quick, and we'll kind of straighten it out so you can see the plateau here. But, I don't know if these are stairs, if this is an entrance. You look at this thing right here, it almost looks like the Apollo rocket or something, and then you look over here, it almost looks like the same thing, perhaps discarded. I don't know what this is. I have no idea whatsoever. But if you look on his back wall, you can see there's like 3 or 4 squares, and they got like a round shape to them. Maybe this is some kind of power source. They stick it in there. Who the heck knows? But if you look here, here's a being in the background. This is their head. Here's an arm. But you can see something in here, and you can see the typical dome type home or housing structure that are all over the hillsides everywhere, millions of them. But it looks like it could be on a track. I just don't know. Check the site out for yourself. Don't ever take my word for it. However, if you don't have a video card, don't even waste your time. And I guess here's a good point, because I know on the video playback, you're never going to see this because it's hard enough for me to see it. But what you have here is a being. Here's their head. Here's an arm. But here's a little girl's head, okay? Here's her arm. This is the bottom of her dress. Here's one leg. Here's the other leg. Here's a foot and a leg of another girl, okay? There's a boy back here and another boy, so it looks like there's 2 boys and 2 girls. What's interesting here is this little girl is carrying 2 beings on her arm. Here's her arm, okay? Here's one being. Here's the other being, okay? And as I zoom in, you'll be able to see their legs. Here's the legs, okay? This is the little girl's arm. These beings, I believe, if I recall, are 30 foot tall. So moving on. Another hard one to check out, but, you know, can't tell what gender this is, but, you know, here's the arm, here's the head, here's the arm, here's the waist, here's the pants, okay? And behind this person, there is a woman because she's wearing a dress, but here's another being. And there's also beings in here. There's a gentleman right here wearing a hat, wearing a suit. This, whoever they are, looks like they're wearing almost like a chef's apron, but it looks like they're hugging a kid. But there's a gentleman sitting here. There's his legs. And there's a gentleman sitting here. You know, this could be a restaurant. I don't know. I've showed you restaurants in my past videos because they are there. And while I'm on the inner earth being kick, I guess I'll show you one more, perhaps. And I have to mark it like this a lot of times because you just can't find the stuff, man. But I believe, oh, here we go. I'm going to show you an entrance first. It's pretty nice. But, you know, you can see the path. But, you know, here's a inner earth entrance. Okay. Over here, you can see a gentleman wearing a hat. Who knows what color all of this was because it's black now. But, you know, I don't know what the hell kind of Zamboni this is, but, you know, there it is. But even more interesting is look at this gentleman. Here's his head. Okay. He has a hammer. It's actually it's one of those pointed type of sludge hammers, man. And a wedge on it, you know. But, you know, maybe a little mohawk or something. I don't know. But you can see his eyeballs. You can see his arm. You can see the hammer. Can't you? Who knows what this is down here? All of these things, you know. But apparently a hammer fixes it. But I'll leave you there for today. But as always, you know, don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. And, you know, dive into some of these bases, however many they may be in Antarctica, and check out my sites as well. Till next time.